We come from slavery. When a black man talks like that, the black woman has been delusional. Y'all been conditioned. Y'all been forced into independence. We talking about historically. Y'all was forced into, not by choice. Y'all was forced y'all was forced into independence, and you were given things to nurture that forceful independence that undermined me. So now I'm no longer the head of the household. But if you look at African families,
man, oh man, oh man, we got another reaction for you today, man. I came across this podcast and a rapper, up and coming rapper, he's also a podcast. I've seen a few of his clips online, and he's talking to a podcast, and they're talking about everything from his rap career to how relationships work. And that's where I want to key in on, because he has some interesting points to tell these two podcast hosts. Make sure that like button, make sure the subscribe button. For less further ado, let's get to the video, man.
Where I'm from, that's what I grew up seeing. I had people older than me like, yo, dude, listen, man, we ain't teaching me. This is how I go.
If someone listened to your song and said, hey,
like you, right? Look,
this sounds like a Nas song, would you be offended?
If you're a girl, right? Everybody like you, right? Okay. I don't like you because everybody like you. I don't even want to deal with you, right? If everybody got this pair of sneakers, I'm going to get the complete just colors.
Well, that's how I am.
That's Harlem. Like we not doing that. Like we not dick rider. We not pocket chasing. We don't want the girl that everybody got. We don't want the jewelry that everybody got. We don't want to move like how everybody want to move. You know what I'm saying? So,
I feel like I hear what you're saying, but I feel like the guys I've met since I've moved here, they're more particular than women. At least the ones I've encountered.
But listen, you met men that's a reflection of yourself. You heard? So
you hit it around the head, man. A lot of times women don't understand that. A lot of times you attract the men that you are attracted to. So if most of the men you're meeting are more like judgmental than, let's say, the women, that means that the circle of men that you're attracting, because there are like multiple different types of men in the world, and a lot of women don't understand that. If you stay in one lane, you're going to attract one type of man. Just like if a man is to stay in one type of lane, he's going to attract the same type of woman. It works on both sides.
And when we talking about
be careful, Ashley. I know, yeah. Think process.
No, it's all good. But that's the truth.
I'm not trying to be insulting to people in Harlem. I mean,
no,
you're from Harlem. I love you.
But see,
I love the way you think.
But again, listen.
I remember like being looked up and down, like a girl looks at another girl when they like their outfit, but they don't want to compliment them, by a guy.
But it depends on, like I said, it depends on the person. Like for me, I don't care about what you got going on. I don't care about your outfit. I don't care about your butt. I don't care about your titties. I don't care about nothing. Most women don't even add no value to men in this era, let alone know how to.
They don't, because this is the thing. It's all monetary. It's all monetary. It's about, okay, if I got this fat ass, or I got these titties, or I look a certain way, then a lot of men will be attracted to you. But they'll be attracted to you only for one thing. The thing is, the reason why, and I said this to somebody, on the podcast. I said the reason why a lot of 5s and 6s get married is because they know, as a woman, they have to increase their value monetarily and not just physically. You know what I'm saying? If you ask a man who's been married for 20 years, what value does your wife bring? He'll tell you the third thing is looks, or the fourth thing is looks, but everything else before then is monetary. I ain't talking about financially, but like as far as like things that he sees as monetary. Let's continue.
I'm too focused on building myself up, right?
Wait, how do women not add value? I feel like guys,
let's not get into that. Can we get back to what we were talking about?
Everybody wants.
No, but
where
that's
this came from.
I got you. Let me land a plane though, because it's important, right? Like we don't.
I'm not arguing, just questioning.
No, we're not arguing.
No, we got. I feel that way, but check it out, right?
Right. I don't feel that way. You don't feel that way. Don't feel no way.
That's how old Harlem was. We focus, and the man is priority. I know my value, and see what happens is, because we condition that black men don't matter. There's this emasculation component they try to apply to a black man who cares about how he dressed, who cares about how he looks. I care about how I dress, how I look, how I smell, my teeth is, all that. I take care of myself, right? That's hygiene. I care about how my nails look. I care about all this shit, right? I'm gonna take care of myself. You heard? So there's a responsibility for that. And then when you start to have this confidence, Harlem is just on steroids with that shit. When you start to have this confidence, you project differently, right?
Or Miami, Harlem raised.
No, this is important for the camera because people that this is old Harlem. I'm not talking about what's going on now, right?
Old Harlem, as in
talking about the people that the Renaissance, the people that really set the tone for the shit, fashion, everything, trends, right? So it was this thing of individuality, and that's so important because if you start to focus on yourself, you're not going to be influenced by nobody else. So,
and that's the thing that people need to understand. He hit it around the head. If you focus on yourself, you're not going to be influenced by everybody else. If you look at social media today, everybody is influenced by some major rap star or some celebrity or some influencer. Everybody looks the same, dress the same, act the same, talk the same. Nobody is an individual. And then when people are individuals or they are, you know what I'm saying, one of one, people criticize them, especially men. As men, we get criticized the most if we're one of one. You know, like if a man likes anime or something like that, oh, he's this, he's a white, he want to be a white boy, or we want to be this, we want to be that, or he's a book nerd or something like that. That's not celebrated. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know, as a man, you either gotta be a hood dude, a scammer, or a thug, or something like that, for a lot of these women to be attracted to you. And I'm not talking about the older women. I'm talking about the younger women because it's way more prevalent in the younger generation. But let's continue.
We get the best version.
I think he's talking about me.
Not you.
Well, I know
we get the
I
best
be
version.
In a good way.
We get the best
That's
version.
me all day.
And most men, right? Most men, black men, like I said, we condition not to have confidence. We condition that the woman is more important than us. But we supposed to be the head, the protector, the provider. So because we're not in a role that
I feel
values,
like if guys,
I'm not gonna claim
that
for the
values,
universe. Stop claiming the condition. Y'all got to get out of the condition.
Yeah. But this is why smart guys here and my sciences that I'm creating to help us is here. The black man is a god. So at the end of the day, I'm not brainwashed by no white man, and I'm not trying to take on a woman who has that consciousness because she's going to be destructive. She's volatile. You stay the fuck over there. And I don't care how many other brothers who are uninformed entertain the energy that you bring into your life. That doesn't validate my energy or devalue my energy. I know what I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to build and what I'm supposed to move like and how I'm supposed to be. I'm the original man, right? Yes. I invented math, right?
But I did want to ask you about that statement.
See, this is the thing, man. It's gonna go over a lot of people's heads. We are the original people, and the problem is if you go back to, let's say, the 60s, I would say the 60s and the 70s, when, you know, feminism took over and welfare and all that. I'm not talking about feminism being a bad thing, because I mean, I think men and women should be equal as far as pay and all that stuff. I mean, if a woman and a man have the same job, they should get paid the same amount of money. The thing is that you had things like the welfare bills. Because if you go back to think about in the 40s and 50s, where the father was the head of the household and the father made those decisions, and the mother was the neck and the father was the head, everything was great. My mother had a mother and a father in the household. But once my mother had me, that's when everything started to separate. You had single mothers raising sons, and now it's gotten to the point now where women are like, where the real men at? But if you look at your son, these are the type of men that you're attracting.
You said about women not adding value, because I think women do add value to a man.
Check it out. I got you. But
do you not? How do you?
But
how is that not
listen,
true?
So let me just finish this. I got you. We can address that. I invented math. I invented the decibel. I created everything, every science, everything. That's what black men did, right? So me, I got tired of this. Is how I got. And this is like answer one of the questions too. I seen a question. I got tired of this victim mindset that was forced on me. This is how I got into philanthropy. This is how I got into doing community work. I started to realize every other culture works together and sticks together. And then they condition us not to work together. And then a black man is like, if you care about your people, hey, something wrong with you. But in order to get...
He right. If you care about your people, there's something wrong, because they'll think you like Malcolm X or Louis Farrakhan or those type of guys, where if you care about your people, you're supposed to make sure that your people are great. But if you see other communities, nobody says anything about other communities doing that. You see like Asians, you know what I'm saying? You see Hispanics, you see, Muslims or Indians or people like that. They all work in unison with each other. We're the only race of people. We spend over $1 trillion a year in this economy, but we only make 13% of the population. Our spending power is almost at 50%, but we only make 13% of the population. How does that work though?
The maximum money, you got to have a village. Can't do this by yourself. So I care about my people. So I had to educate myself on how to correctly, conducively care about my people. And then it led to understanding mantras, neuroscience, etc., etc. Then when I said women don't add value to men, I'm talking about black men, because women who have the slave consciousness, you're conditioned to have the ambitions of a man. You're conditioned not to value a man. You're conditioned not to be submissive. You're conditioned to be hyper masculine, hyper independent.
And what particular, because you're speaking again, and this gets to where I know the slave mentality of the culture.
Watch this. Check it out. Just be the fly on the wall. Check this out. What's a woman's role?
I've been the fly on the wall the whole damn time.
I got you. That's why we interview me, right?
Yes, we are interviewing you.
That's okay. Make me the focus.
So,
look, what's a woman's role?
Okay, my interpretation of a woman's role in a relationship.
What's a woman's role?
A woman's role is to tend to the family when she has one, when she has a family.
Okay.
But as a daughter, I would tend to my parents. That's what we talked about before we started the show, because that's how I was raised.
What's a woman's role in accordance to the relationship?
To tend to the man. But I feel like...
In what way?
Like emotional support and to be that partner for them, and vice versa. Though the man should do that too.
What's the
man's role? That's kind of like in the Bible.
The man provides and protects.
He's supposed
and leads the family. So
how does he provide?
He was the breadwinner.
So that's what I'm saying, right?
Tradition.
Because we don't have the actual intentional ingredients, we don't get it. We just think we know, so it sounds good, right?
It goes by that old saying, you know what I'm saying? You don't know unless somebody tells you. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, she coming with fumbling and everything. A man's job is to provide and protect and make sure that the family's straight. The woman's job is to be that emotional support. That was the original intention. But now, today, especially in today's society, black women have been put on this thing that, okay, I don't need a man. And you could tell, like, you know what I'm saying, when this is, I tell women, when a man is sure of himself, he's 1,000% sure of himself, you could tell that they want to resent what he's saying, but they can't, because at the end of the day, he's one step ahead of them. And a lot of women, they're used to men not being that way. They're used to men being what you call P with the last letter Y. Let's continue.
Is this wrong?
Yes.
No, dad, mom.
Yes.
My mindset is wrong.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, in today's society,
how is that wrong? But you just said that, like,
in society, normal old school society, yes, the man is the provider.
I'm saying this, a woman's role. Hold on. A woman's role is wisdom and balance, right?
Yes.
So the first step.
The balance could be.
They said that's an old phrase. The wife is the neck.
So listen.
In a marriage.
So there's two parts, right? And this is another thing that I teach and that I'm working on, right? Is the first phase is the developmental phase. Okay, so you have to be in a season of development before you go into a relationship, because whatever skills you acquire, those are the skills that you're going to acquire to the relationship. Okay,
right.
So the first thing you need to understand, wisdom. That means you have to be well read as a woman. This is why you're single.
Now,
right?
let's be particular. Wisdom in your space, not in.
No.
But it has to be connected to your wisdom.
All right, he's gonna lay me out.
Because some people might like to say we're gonna save up and go and travel the world to relax, and then some people might just want to sit and watch TV.
I was
it's a general.
Supposed to be married, but I broke my relationship.
It's a general.
You could have a husband who is not a hustler and complacent with just providing, and then you can have a type of dude who wants to
you
go hustle for more.
You got your approach. This is my approach, okay? This is my perspective, separate from yours, okay?
I'm just going by being an experienced 52 on January 26th woman.
Oh, Lord have mercy. That's why. That's exactly why. She's already, hey, bro, like you talking to a woman that's already lost, man. She is not going to change her ways, yo. The older a woman gets, just like older men get, they're not gonna change their ways. Because the thing is, they've been programmed for so long to have this mentality like men ain't shit, men ain't doing nothing. He's trying to explain everything, but they're not taking it, because at the end of the day, this is what society has programmed us to think. let's continue.
Marriage, several marriages, several kids, and just in life.
You got your approach.
Yes.
Right? It's different from mine.
Experience.
This is different from mine. Okay? So now, the first phase has to be the developmental phase. Right? The woman has to, as well as the man, the woman, if you keep cutting me off,
no,
I
I'm
can't
not.
get it out. But let me
because I'm going to say what I understand and when you say that.
Let me finish saying what I'm saying first, right? So the first phase is the developmental phase. She has to develop her wisdom in certain areas that she has to know about. One, the most important is nutrition. She needs to understand nutrition, okay?
The obvious. Some people love to health and some people don't.
Not the obvious, but it's the obvious role of the woman because she's the nurturer, right? She's the caretaker, right? So
feeding the family,
right? But if she doesn't understand nutrition, right? Then we talk about diabetes, prostate cancer, etc., etc.
Are you talking about the woman's health, personal health, or how she can help her family?
So she has to understand nutrition.
Yeah, how you feed your family.
And then the next thing is she has to understand psychology, neuroscience, biology. Psychology meaning what we talked about, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, right? She has to understand child psychology. She has to understand that the child's learning curve is the shortest between the ages of 0 to 7. She also has to understand war, right? And how she's leveraged as a pawn in war, so she can not only not be used by our enemy against us, but she can contribute wisdom when the king is actually going to war. Okay.
That's the thing though. If you go back in time to, like I said earlier, the 60s and the 70s or whenever, the perfect way to destroy a family is to have them collide with each other, as far as like resent each other. That's what the welfare state did. That's exactly what modern feminism did. It made us collide with each other, and you see it every day in Black America. You know what I'm saying? You got women out here stating that men ain't nothing, men ain't this, men ain't that. And you got men out here being red pilled, saying that women are whores and all these things. But at the end of the day, if we all came together and just sat down and had conversations like this, where he has his insight, she has her insight, then it would be much better. But see, a lot of times, this is why when I do these reactions, I'm like, yo, like I understand this 100% because I've been through it.
Okay.
The next thing, let me finish. If you just wait.
So basically, emotional
I'm waiting
intelligence.
I'm gonna start on, like, when you start on a relationship.
I said
it's
earlier.
good to, because it take about 2 to 3 to 5 years to really know a person. So it's kind of good to go really live with a person, to really know a person on a light side.
You believe in living with before marriage?
No,
like
you have to learn yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about
you can learn.
scientists.
You have to know yourself when you
Queen,
start connecting with another
but
person.
let me
That's the bottom.
I got you.
First part.
So you have to be in a season of self-development. So once you learn these sciences, nutrition, psychology, neuroscience, biology, think of it like somebody trying to be a doctor.
Just understanding yourself.
No. Not just no. We're talking about these exact specific things. You have to understand physiology, biology, chemistry, neuroscience, how the mind works, psychology, nutrition, having emotional intelligence, right? Then the next thing is you have to understand submission. What does submission mean? Submission means to be in agreement. And then you have to understand your role and what is the role of the man, okay? Now, what the man has to develop is he has to develop his ability to provide. How does the man provide? He gets provision from God. So through his relationship with God, he's getting provision, right? He can't get provision unless he prays. But you don't pray with your mouth. We've been conditioned to pray a certain way.
Everybody is, yes.
Right? You have to pray with your actions.
Because we deal with certain levels of people.
The actions,
that's where I'm coming from. You gotta
the actions
deal
you
with
take,
what you're dealing with.
The actions you take, moving towards what you're asking God for, is the prayer. The answer to the prayer and results is the provision. That's
key, man. That's definitely key. Like people, and this is also why, a lot of people, especially myself, I don't really go to the churches like that, because the churches and all the sermons and all that, man, that's just a whole riz, man. You don't need to go to church to know God. You know what I'm saying? You could read your Bible, you could go ahead, you could pray, all those things. And when I went to college, when I went to school, I took religious studies. And when I took religious studies, I realized that, hey, I don't need to go to no church. I mean, I can learn about the Bible and learn how the Bible works. And I did reports on different books in the Bible. But, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have to go to church to do that. And a lot of times in modern society, you know, people go to church to pray. You could pray at home. You could pray in the kitchen. You could pray at work. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that people don't get, though.
That's how the man provides. Now, the man has to be a protector. So the man has to have an interest in boxing, martial arts, jiu-jitsu, wrestling.
So you got to know how to fight.
No, it's not just knowing how to fight. He has to understand these arts: boxing, martial arts, wrestling, marksmanship, right?
Okay.
Keep going. No, I want to hear this list.
Everybody is not on that higher plane.
No,
what if you have an individual?
It's not a what if, because this is what I'm saying. You can't. These are the ingredients. So the choice. My thing is, I can't make you do this. I'm here just to give you the ingredients because we've been conditioned to not be knowledgeable about these ingredients. Okay. Now let me finish.
Most mature people do have however they do it. I'm talking in most mature people.
But the man has to be understanding self-defense, martial arts, boxing, marksmanship, etc., etc. And then now.
But what if the man don't? Then what? He's lost. He ain't gonna get a woman. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Or he'll never come to that light of having a relationship.
I want to hear the whole recipe, though.
This is why. What I said was, let me get this off, right? We can agree to disagree, right?
I'm not
We can do another
disagreeing.
episode. What I'm saying is, I don't want to. Because
I have a husband who wrestles and does all types of stuff.
I don't want to get I want to just get this off, right? This is my perspective, right? So we dealing with a slave consciousness. So if you don't do this, no, it's not going to happen. This is why we don't run the world. This is why white people run the world. This is why we don't own media. This is why we don't own our own satellites, radio towers. This is why we use Instagram instead of building Instagram. Okay, we're suffering from a slave consciousness.
But what are we gonna do when it started way before us? So you can't get. So how do we go? Because we're not a part of it.
The thing is, it's called knowledge of self. Sometimes, and a lot of times people don't see this, man, because it's modern technology and everything. But a lot of times, man, just get a book and read, man. Reading is probably the most important thing you could do. Reading books and just learning about knowledge yourself. Sometimes, I'm gonna tell you what we do as black people. We'll go on our phones, spend 22 hours on our phone, but we haven't spent one day reading a book, learning. You know what I'm saying? Getting knowledge from people who are older, more balanced, more knowledgeable. A lot of times women, I always tell women this: find a woman who is in a healthy marriage or relationship, and they'll tell you exactly what to do. Women who are happy or in a marriage and they're happy, they're successful, their husband is doing everything they want, they'll tell you what to look for in a man. And fellas do the same thing. Find a man who's in a healthy, happy marriage, and he'll let you know what to do. Let's continue.
So how do we survive?
I'm saying it, but you're cutting me off. So, and then it's getting frustrating for me because I don't like jumping around. I like to finish points, right? So let me just get this off. The thing about relationships is we're not taught our actual roles because those actual roles are a threat to the people that empower. So this is why the black husband has no authority. Your husband has no authority in the world. He go outside, say the wrong thing to police officer, he can get killed. No repercussions. He don't run shit, neither do I. This is the system, right? So we have
we all understand that system.
Yeah.
Because
so I
need a Captain America.
So we can't have delusions of if you want to just talk, go ahead. I'll shut the fuck up. And we could just finish it like that.
I want you to explain because you just said if he don't have no authority or whatever. So what? Because nobody does.
You're jumping, right?
Let him finish.
I explained it all. That's why when I first started off, what we talked about, I talked about my mantra. I talked about the slave consciousness. I talked about breaking these generational curses and what they are. That's the first thing I said. Then I went into talking about why I talk the way I talk, how I handle myself, because we live in a serious times. It's not play time, right? And, you know, I have ambitious goals for myself, for my community, for my people, for my race. So I got to be on a whole different type of frequency. Now, when she was talking about relationships, I'm giving her the ingredients and I ask her these questions because I know most of us don't know the ingredients for this because if we did and we applied it, we wouldn't be in bondage anymore. Okay, we would.
You wouldn't be in bondage anymore, and a lot of people will be in healthy relationships. I think the problem is that when you get a certain individual like this guy right here who's dropping a lot of jewels, and women like this, they don't really get a person who is smart like this on podcasts like this. And it seemed, it seemed to me that they were getting frustrated because he was trying to get a point across. And sometimes individuals like the smart guy, what he'll do is he'll have points, but it takes him a minute to get it off because there's so many layers to the point. And then the women, it's like a microwave mentality. He's like an old school stove. You know what I'm saying? He's giving you the knowledge, but it takes longer to process it. And women like that host right there, she wants the microwave shit. And that's a sad thing. And that's the problem. That's the reason why our community is the way it is today, because we want the microwave results, but we need the stove. We need the oven type of plan to make sure everything's great. But hey, let me know what you think about the video. It's your boy Jay here with another one. Hit that like button, the subscribe button. Also hit the bell for notifications. On my way to 15,000 subscribers. Until next time, folks, I'm out. Just don't sit there. Click on the next video. You won't regret it. I promise you.